Russia-Ukraine war latest news. Putin's secret South Caucasus game. A column of Russian tanks and trucks left Nagorno-Karabakh, the highland territory in the South Caucasus that Azerbaijan and Armenia had fought over for more than 3 decades, through dusty Azerbaijani cities on April 17. Russian peacekeepers were there since 2020. It was now removing the Russian flag from the military base. The Russian pullout surprised many, but it confirmed a power shift that began in late September 2023 when Azerbaijan seized the land and pushed 100,000 Karabakh Armenians to flee nearly overnight as Russian forces stood by. An authoritarian republic bordering Russia on the Caspian Sea, Azerbaijan has become a power actor with oil and gas riches, a powerful military, and profitable ties to Russia and the West. Armenia and Georgia, the other 2 countries, are also witnessing tectonic upheavals. In the months since Azerbaijan took over Nagorno-Karabakh, Russia's longtime ally Armenia has shifted toward the west. Meanwhile, Georgia's ruling party appears to be copying its authoritarian neighbors, breaking with 3 decades of cordial relations with Europe and the US. The Georgian parliament enacted a controversial measure in May to curb foreign influence over non-governmental organizations, emulating Russian law and sending Moscow a message that it had a reliable southern border partner. Be aware. Weekly in-depth analysis. This reorganization of the South Caucasus hides Russia's complicated objectives. Russians call it the Transcaucasus, and its strategic importance has fluctuated over centuries. There was less imperial influence than elsewhere in the Russian Empire or Soviet Union. Moscow kept as many troops on the ground as possible when the Soviet Union collapsed to maintain leverage over local ethno-territorial conflicts. But the Ukraine crisis and Western sanctions have changed that equation. The Kremlin is conceding that economic security in the South Caucasus is more essential than hard security by withdrawing soldiers from Azerbaijan. Russia desperately needs southern economic partners and sanctions-busting trade lines. It also sees the region as a new geographical axis for Iran as the West squeezes it. Big play Baku. This spring's unilateral Russian pullout from Nagorno-Karabakh seemed odd. Azerbaijanis and Armenians have fought for the area, which is in Azerbaijan but has a majority Armenian population, for 30 years. Azerbaijan regained territory from the 1990s in 2020 and would have taken Nagorno-Karabakh if Russia hadn't introduced a peacekeeping force to safeguard Armenians. However, those peacekeepers watched Azerbaijan invade Karabakh last September. They were required to serve until 2025. They may have helped Armenians return to Nagorno-Karabakh and project Russian dominance. Russia's campaign in Ukraine benefits from the 2,000 personnel and 400 armored vehicles sent out. Not the complete story. Russia gave Azerbaijan a victory by leaving the region, allowing its forces to control the long-contested territory. It reaffirmed Russia's abandonment for most Armenians. Immediately, many suspected a Russia-Azerbaijan pact. Azerbaijan, the largest and wealthiest of the 3 South Caucasus republics, has benefited most from Russia's change. It provides oil and gas to European and worldwide markets via 2 pipelines through Georgia and its close ally Turkey. Bordering Iran, it connects Moscow to the Middle East north-south. It helps because Azerbaijan is autocratic like Russia, unlike Armenia. Ilham Aliyev, Azerbaijan's longtime strongman president, has even deeper Soviet roots than Vladimir Putin. His father was Haydar Aliyev, a veteran Soviet power broker who led the country from 1993 to 2003. The younger Aliyev and Putin know how to do business together, relying more on personal connection and leadership than institutional relationships.